I am Professor Cohen. Welcome to Chapter 3, The Rise of California's Progressivism. The importance of California Railway was excellent in terms of the development of the overall social, economic, and political life. According to some historians, the railroad has increased California's growth and development, while others see it as a source of corruption and scandal. By 1910, the Progressives took control of the Republican Party in the country. They nominated Hiram Johnson, an avid lawyer and anti-railroad advocate, to run for governor in California. In this regard, Johnson's credit is immense. He was a leader of the Progressive Party in California and reformed governor of California in the period of 1811 through 1817. In 1911 through 1917. In 1910, Johnson, being a member of Lincoln-Roosevelt League, won the elections for governor, the National Governors Association. This league was famous because its characteristics as a progressive Republican movement was opposed to the Southern Pacific Railroad. He was known for his unwavering isolationism, opposing U.S. transport of the Treaty of Versailles, and the League of Nations and the Permanent Court of International Justice known as the World Court. He was a major sponsor of the Acts of Neutrality in the 1930s and opposed the preparations for World War II and the formation of the United Nations. So Hiram Johnson was a very big isolationist, wanted to build our own. The rise of nonpartisan candidates during progressivism led to Johnson's election of governor of California in 1910, marked a turning point in California's overall political history. Most of the changes introduced then are still in force today. Progressives believe that both political parties were influenced by Southern Pacific monopoly. In nonpartisan elections, no label of a political party may appear next to the candidate's name, nor its financial party permitted for the candidates. This was part of the initial contribution back with Johnson's influence. But this system consists of high criteria that candidates had to meet to qualify for the job. Previously, political parties have traditionally rewarded their activists, party members with local government jobs known as patronage. Hiring professional managers to run operations is also a credit to progressives. Reforms in California during the progressives provided greater transparency and accountability for both institutions and elected officials. To enable the disclosure of all matters of the public institutions and the fact that they elected representatives will first serve the people and will not put their personal interests before the general one, different laws have been adopted. Such laws are often referred to as sunshine laws because they are based on the principles of transparency and accountability. The merit system evolved gradually. Although the merit system prevails today, political patronage still exists at levels of government with a much lower degree of representation than before. On June 16, 1913, the California State Legislature approved the State Civil Service Bill, Chapter 590 of Statutes 1913, and Republican Governor Hiram Johnson signed it. This bill established the California State Civil Service Commission to oversee California's newly established civil service system. With this rose Proposition 13. The most important part of the act is its first paragraph, which determines that the tax rate for real estate. Proposition 13, as part of the rise of progressivism, was passed in 1976. And an example of this progressivism is, according to the paragraph, maximum amount of any ad valorem tax on real property shall not exceed 1% of the total cash value of such property. Proposition 13 reduces the property taxes by assessing their values at the 1976 value and restricted annual increases of assessed value to an inflation factor not to exceed 2% per year. Proposition 13 prohibited reassessment of a new base year value except in change of ownership and completion of new construction. Progressivism in California also led to other important parts of the Proposition 13 initiative that requires a 2/3 majority in both legislative house for future increase of any tax rates or amounts of revenue collected before income tax raises. It also requires 2/3 vote majority in local elections for local government, which aim to increase special taxes, keeps our taxes low. 1 year after Proposition 13 passed, property tax revenue dropped by 60%.